Hey guys, me again, back again. Hope everyone's well and staying safe with all that's going on in the world today. But I hope you're staying safe and well with your family, keeping social distancing and stuff like that. I generally pretty much do the same as I normally do, except for I don't go to. Normally, I go to the library and use the library computers, but obviously libraries are shut, so, as you might imagine. So, but other than that, I still sort of just try and do as much writing as I can and type my ideas on the laptop, and if I can, make some videos and stuff like that. And I normally go for a couple of walks a day and things like that. So it's not a massive amount of change, but I do feel sorry for all the families that are struggling. But anyway, I'm back with another video, so hopefully I can come up with some ideas which make you think about something cheery. Hopefully, anyway, I'll do my best. So I wish I had a more cool voice, but anyway. So hopefully you'll have a good day and all that. And all being well, I'd love to upload a video every day. Hopefully I can spread some positive vibes and make people think about ideas and how they can support each other and things like that. So anyway, back to the list, number 21. Hoping to study about. I'm normally not interested in culture or history that much, but I think it would be interesting if I encourage as many people as possible to study or learn about, in other words, Asian history and culture and things like that, and people from the diaspora possibly find their roots or try and help their ancestral homelands and things like that. I mainly wish to support countries in Asia and Africa and places like that, Asian nations, I normally say because it rhymes, because like white supremacists or the far neo-Nazis or the far right or whatever hate us, so hate mixed race people as well. So that's why I think like mixed race people should support people in like Asian and African nations, in my opinion anyway. And that's a bit of a quirky opinion, but I wonder what my fellow mixed race, fellow Mutts as I call us, would say. I hope they don't mind me using that term. But anyway, I say learning about Asian culture and things like that. 22, I hope like Asian nations will work together, see how they can help each other to grow and achieve more in the future and things like that. And that kind of stuff, and hopefully I can come up with some new ideas as well myself. Sorry, so that I don't keep repeating the same ideas in my videos. I'll try and be as interesting as possible, as I say. 23, I hope to share fundraising ideas and listen to other people's fundraising ideas and sort of encourage people to think about how to help the most disadvantaged people in Asia and support their projects. Generally help people lift out of poverty and, like I say, supporting girls in learning about science and engineering and maths and things like that so they can be empowered, learning English and entrepreneurship and all sorts of things like that, which I talked about in my previous videos. And also like I taught many communities in Asia, like Dalits in India, the lower caste, my fellow dyslexics, females of all ages, like say girls learn about science and things like that, so in the future they will be empowered and things like that. Yeah, so I'm hoping to support certain groups like that across Asia, possibly my fellow mixed race people as well. But generally, especially the poor people, like poor to 10% of people, support them in education and things like that. I'm not really a big fan of academic education, but I think they're still learning stuff about business or things like that. And I suppose academic education does have a place because, like, we need people like doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals, people who have the academic ability as well. So an economy needs, that's what I think about neurodiversity, like an economy needs all sorts of minds, not just people who are academic, but also people like people with autism might have other strengths, and people with dyslexia. I know autistic people can be good academically, but might not be good at working with other people, but a lot of time, but they can still have other strengths to offer. So I think the world needs all types of minds to it. So I'm hoping to encourage people from Asia to see, hopefully they'll see this video and think of different thoughts about how to empower people with learning disabilities and see that have a value for people with learning disability in the classroom, that they might not be the best academically, but they might have other strengths like creativity or things like that. And someone said that about a dyslexic entrepreneur said that about a quarter of entrepreneurs or CEOs or whatever have some form of learning disability, or especially dyslexia or ADHD or things like that. 24, I hope to encourage Asian nations, as I say, to work more closely together and not be so divided, but in the future, because I know a lot, as I've talked about in the past, like, or in my previous video, or at least one of them, that a lot of the Asian nations are like divided, so I hope to encourage them to work together more closely. As I say, I also hope to make at least one video a day if I can, or as many as possible, but hopefully it won't bore you too much. 25, I hope to encourage like republicanism in Asia, across Asia. Personally, I prefer a republican form of government. I wouldn't want to force it onto a nation. Like here in the UK where I live, I think the majority of people are monarchists, so I think that obviously the majority of people's will should count, but the problem I have is that if you are a Republican, you still have to pay for the monarchy, so that's something I disagree with, that it forces people to pay for the monarchy. So if I could, I'd support republics, especially in Africa and Asia, and help them to network together. Maybe on that note, like Asian nations could like host Republican events and things like that. 26, supporting Asia as a form of like reparations for historical invasion of Asian nations like India, which many people say had a lot of its wealth and resources and things like looted from countries like the UK. So I think it's like I've talked about in some of my previous videos about supposedly that like trillions of pounds were taken from India, stolen from India, you could argue. So I suppose there is a justice argument, and also there was like a lot of persecution of their people. So I think there's a reparational argument for supporting Asian, as I say, as an anti-imperialist, if I'm honest. That's one reason why I wish to support Asian nations and things like that. And in terms of supporting people with learning disabilities or special needs, whichever you prefer, in Asia, it's like killing two birds with one stone, because it's like supporting countries that were colonized, but also supporting my fellow learning disabled people. So I'm sort of combining the two, as I say, killing two birds with one stone. And 27, I hope to like reward sponsors or general supporters. Like, for instance, they can have an increased PR. So, for instance, there could be a list of the top people who would support projects in Asia, which hopefully make a positive difference. 28, once again, like things like the coronavirus problem, hopefully will, despite all I call it making a positive from a negative, or turning a negative into a positive, because hopefully it will make Asian nations work more closely together. 29, I hope to encourage as many people as possible, especially mixed race people, to support Asia, and especially people from diaspora and people of colour generally, and people who support justice and so forth, to support Asia. And point number 30, as I say, I hope to support Asia as much as possible. I suppose the only way I can think of supporting them is like financially, but and it's something you can measure, but also like spiritually and just generally encourage Asians to reach their full potential. So hopefully this video wasn't too bad, and thanks in advance for any support. I really appreciate it if you give it a like and share it and stuff like that, especially with people from Asia. Peace out.